Hi, everyone. What do I need? It's really going to be fast, for real. The plan was to. The plan was to take a nap. I didn't. I laid on the couch for 3 hours and didn't fall asleep. I laid on the couch with a sore back and felt like a pile of shit for 3 hours and never fell asleep. So could be rough tonight. But my problem is my stupid brain won't let me go to sleep when the Steelers are on. Under any circumstances, they could be winning by 10 touchdowns or losing by 10 touchdowns, and I still can't fall asleep. So, unless I'm watching the game, sometimes I do fall asleep watching the game. But in my bed, I will lay wide awake. It sucks. It is a torturous hell. So, my plan was to eat. I actually made a drink earlier because I thought, oh, this will make me fall asleep. Nope. Nope. No such thing. Oh, I have nothing on my screen. So if someone's here. Oh, there it is. Hello, Matthew. Hello, Monster. Well, that's weird. The Steelers shouldn't be allowed to be in the playoffs. They lost to the Browns. I understand it's a divisional game. Divisional games are different. But still. It's still ridiculous. Hello, Kelly. Robert, I agree with that. I do agree with that. Let me think. So we were at my stepfather and I, the year we beat the Ravens at home in the AFC Championship game when we went on and won the Super Bowl, whatever, 43? Whatever, I don't know, whatever Super Bowl that was. I was at the game with my stepfather. It was before I had season tickets. And we were in the closed end zone. It's like 20 rows off the field. And when we got to the stadium, there was some... There was a Ravens bus pulled into the parking lot we were parking in. 3 Ravens buses, as a matter of fact. So we walked basically... Yeah, that's for sure, Matt. When we walked to the stadium with 3 busloads of Ravens fans. And they were okay. They weren't assholes. I mean, not that I really noticed, but they all basically said the same thing. You wouldn't want it any other way, would you? And solid point. I mean, you know, I would have much rather, but also, I don't think it doesn't fucking matter. Is there a possibility maybe that Pittsburgh wins a playoff game this year? Maybe one game if they get in? Maybe, but I doubt it. So it doesn't really matter. I don't really care. But also, I would much rather that you have to play the last game to get in rather than sit and rest your starters. I hate when they do that. It never works. I believe there were 4 or 5 buses sent to the game tonight. Yeah, I'm sure. Like I said, we were sitting. Yeah, I did have tickets, Matt. I do not. I mean... I didn't go, obviously. I would go. I don't know. Here's the thing: if we win, then we'll have a home game next week. So if we win, I'll go next week. But tonight's game wasn't a sellout. Yeah, I know, it's ridiculous. It's crazy. It's a game that literally matters, and no one cares to go. So, all right, this is called Cherry Mudslide. Vodka, Kahlua, Irish cream, cherry liqueur, half and half, and grenadine. Yeah, the flex things suck. Well, that's not bad. That's not bad. I don't really like Kahlua. I'm not a coffee guy. So Kahlua is usually not good for me, but I can't really taste it in there. Very, very, very faint. Oh, there you go. We finished the paper. How about that? Yeah, the flex scheduling thing, I get it. I understand from a TV ratings, they want to have the most ratings. This game probably had more on the line than any other game this weekend because it was winner makes the playoffs, loser does not. And it's a rivalry game, and before Mike Tomlin was the coach, and before the NFL turned into a bunch of fucking pussies, this was one of the hardest hitting games of the schedule every year. You're not allowed to play physical football anymore, so it is what it is. We deal with it however it goes. But yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. Hello, Christopher. So I have no thoughts on it whatsoever. Like I said, if it wasn't for my broken brain, if my brain would allow me to just go to bed, I would just go to bed and say I don't care, because I don't really care. But the problem is, my brain don't work like that. If I lay in bed, I will lay there wide awake the whole time, at least thinking that I have to pick my phone up and look at it to see what the score is or whatever. And like I said, Baltimore could come out and be up 4 touchdowns in the first quarter, and I'll be like, nah. Yeah. I get it, Matt. Like I said, they're protecting players. Some of it is just, but it's bang bang. So how do you make that call? How do you make that call live at you watch it in live action, it looks terrible. Then when you watch it in replay, you're like, that wasn't that bad. But they don't have the option to do that necessarily. Well, they don't. But I'm saying, I wonder if I don't know. But you can't. Then you're trying to judge intent and how hard did somebody actually hit someone, and then sometimes, a runner or a player turns, and that's what makes a head-to-head contact, or it's just, I don't know. It's hard. It's difficult. They're in a bad position. I understand that. I just, I miss the old days. I miss the old days when it was just bedlam out there. Although I did turn, as soon as I turned on the TV, they were playing "I Go to Work" by Kool Moe Dee. I'm like, well, that's a good sign. I don't know who picked up on that. You young kids out there may not even know who Kool Moe Dee is, but I heard it, and I was singing along because I remembered the words from, I don't know when that was, 1990, early 90s, something, 80, late 80s probably. Yeah, that'd be late 80s, I guess. Damn, that's a long time ago. Anyway. That's it. That's all I got. Watched the podcast with Debo and Ryan Clark earlier. Oh, yeah, Ken. Yeah, they're funny. That's a good podcast. That's a pretty good... Those two are funny. Or no, not Ryan Clark. Was it Debo's podcast, or was he on a podcast with somebody? Because he's got a podcast with Joe Hayden. From he played for the Browns forever, and then he played for us for a couple seasons at the end there. And he was saying, he actually brought it up the other week. he brought it up to Debo. He said Cleveland actually won a playoff game more recent than the Steelers did. And he goes, and yeah, that's when you were on the team. He goes, you're weak, you're soft, that's why you lost. It was very funny. Yeah, I know, Janet. Same thing for me. But I can't. I might fall asleep sitting on the chair, maybe. But if I go and lay in my bed, I will not fall asleep 100%. So I know this is years and years and years of this, and I have to get up at 4 a.m. tomorrow, so that sucks. But yeah, I like the fact that they hate each other. Oh, okay. His podcast with Joe Hayden is funny, though. They're very funny. James Harrison he's very funny. He has a very good sense of humor. Also, I think I think he was now officially nominated for the Hall of Fame. The guy belongs in the Hall of Fame. Just stop it. Put him in the Hall of Fame. Ridiculous. Same thing with Hines Ward. Hines Ward belongs in the Hall of Fame. There's no, that I don't even understand that. I mean, I don't know. Harrison absolutely belongs in the Hall of Fame. Dude was a defensive player of the year. And he was an absolute fucking menace for I don't know how many years. He was in contention for defensive player of the year for at least 5 or 6 seasons, which means he was at least the number 1 or 2 most dominant defensive player on the football field for that long. That's crazy. Hines Ward, it's not really a longevity award, but I mean, he's the all-time Steelers passing leader. He was the best. He probably the best blocking wide receiver that ever was. They made rules because of him. And he got hit the shit kicked out of him constantly and woke up and got up all the ground all the time smiling. Hello, Martha. Look at Martha. Wait. I don't know if Martha's still here. Martha, your duck's right here. Martha's the one that gave me that duck. That's a Phil Robertson duck. It's pretty heavy, too. I don't know what it's made out of. I don't know what to do with it because I'm afraid if I leave... I don't want to... It's been there for a long time. I just don't want to leave it there because I'm afraid it's going to fall and get chipped on the floor or something. And it's awesome. Maybe I should put it in a coin thing. It's actually one of the coolest things that's ever been given to me. For real. Yeah, that's true, Ken. Hello, Ron. Alright. I guess I need to mentally prepare myself for this mess. So, good night, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. And I got to make a post. The Super Bowl blocks are now officially on sale. If you want to get blocks, we do the Super Bowl block pool. Everybody knows how the block pool works. We fill all the things in, then we draw the numbers. We'll make sure we get Jensen on here to draw the numbers because I think it's funny when he picks the number 3 and he says doing it for Dale, and when he picks the number 8, he says doing it for Dale Jr. So we love that. But the blocks are available. They're $10 a block. I'm going to take a picture. I'm going to make a post. I'll put it up in the featured posts so you can my Venmo information, all that stuff will be there. You can stop by the house and pay cash. You can pick up a sweatshirt, t-shirt, merchandise. You can get yourself some honey-coated pecans. We still got a couple tins of those left. We got honey and hot sauce. We got all kinds of shit here. And every penny from everything we do gets given away. We did just shy of $20,000 this year. I should have just gave some more money to hit 20, but that's okay. Hopefully next year. I don't know how we're going to get back there again. I do not. It's got to be. I don't know. Whatever. We got to find some more events to go to. I think it's the only way we can raise that kind of money. Unless we sell 700 Super Bowl block pool sheets, that would be a good start. It is a fundraiser for us. A lot of fundraisers do 50-50. On this one, we do 65%. So we pay out $650, and we keep $350 from each sheet. So it is a fundraiser for what we do, and the money goes to veterans and service members. So it's guilt-free shopping, as I say. So that starts now. And also, Izzy will probably start buying... you ripped it. Oh, well, now it's broken in. As soon as I get one with a hole in it or something in it, then it's my favorite sweatshirt. And so this will be Super Bowl blocks are on sale, and also Izzy will probably start buying ducks right now, because that's what he did last year. As soon as we started selling blocks, he started buying 2 ducks a week, and he bought two ducks a week, I think, for all the way up till Spoonapalooza. He ended up with like 40 something ducks. Anyway, Izzy's a good supportive fella. All right, that's all I got. Game is up here in a few minutes, so what are we looking at here? Oh. All right. That's all I got. Good night, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Never apologize for being patriotic. And fuck Bruce Springsteen. Peace.